Morning all. Got a Antipodeal battle here. 45-minute big game with Red.Wave, just for a lark. Two USSR. Let's see what side I'll be, because that always bugs out. I'm actually the USA, that's fine. Yeah, Red.Wave is absolutely on a scorcher. Look at that. I can't believe he's only beat me once before. Alright, let's look at my hand. It will suck to get purged, but at least I have a 4-op card. Containment's a good option for the headline. Asia scoring also is if he doesn't headline Vietnam or etc. So we'll open 442, even though I've got socialist governments. Will we? I always get paranoid about the opening Italy coup. Where do I want the other one? I want Iran to be 3 because I also hold Asia scoring and I need to get into China. So let's headline containment and go 433, which is a bit of a giveaway that I have socialist governments. And I've also got socialist governments, De Gaulle, CIA, Fidel, Asia scoring, nuclear test ban, and 5-year plan. I'm going to get more than 5 ops doing this, so it's a decent spend of containment. Alright, so I can use De Gaulle to take France, obviously, although that does give access to Algeria. At least it clears out the deck. I can hold socialist governments for blockade, or if I get purged, of course. Oh no, containment now cancels purge, which is good. So I'm hoping for a not as strong coup on Italy as he could have, followed by pushing into Asia to make sure I score it at least neutral. The upshot of being USA is I can at least weather the storm. Yeah, so he goes with Olympic Games, which suggests he doesn't have a lot of great headlines, as headlines go. We will, of course, participate. And we win. Wow, what a start. Well, that's a bonus. Oh boy, he is ops poor. Let's spread around. This time I'm going to Pakistan, not Afghanistan, because I constantly get castigated about not taking into Pakistan at DEFCON 5 with adjacency. And I'm not going to make that mistake this time. Okay, so he drops Middle East scoring for 0. Oh, for 1, of course, because I pushed into Egypt, which is great. Let's get Fidel in the deck. What do I want to do? Another option is headlining De Gaulle. Let's use Fidel, take Afghanistan and push into... Because obviously what I'm trying to do is get to a situation where I can try and claim multiple... Although this kind of telegraphs I'm pressing for Asia. At least if he strong coups Pakistan, I have one strong coup card to reply with. And obviously if he doesn't coup Pakistan, I can push into Thailand this turn. But he's going for it. Oh. He went for the Italy coup. That's a bummer for him. So now he's going to take the coup on Pakistan, but he is at least surrounded if he uses the China card. I've got socialist governments. Yep, let's go with that. I need to remember to try and put some ops into Canada, eh? I mean, Indo-Pakistani war kind of sucks here for the 1 in 3 on India. He's thinking, do I use the China card to coup Pakistan, or do I use it to take South Korea and keep DEFCON at 4? But if he uses the China card, I'm guessing he's not got many high op cards left. We've seen NORAD, and that's for his Italy coup. So he's telegraphing he's really just got the China card left for ops. I'm, of course, running out of ARs, because I do kind of want to get a coup in, and I need to take Europe with de Gaulle. I have to kind of shore up Italy if I don't take the coup, because he can have another crack. So, if he doesn't frig with Asia this turn, dropping Asia scoring, this AR's the good shout. I want to advance the agenda a bit. Ui, D-style. Early doors. Getting panicked. But he kind of gets greedy there. Oh, but that's nice with France. Right. Let's pump Europe. Oh man, that's a good. It was a splendid D-style. I score Asia for domination. I kind of give up on France, although Truman's still to come in. Let's go with what we know. Let's take Asia scoring now. And see how he responds. Taking France seems obvious. He's very sensibly gone to the 3 stab areas. Let's get a coup off to get our mill-ops down. Let's hope for a 5 or a 6 in South America. South Africa, no. Oh well. He spaces Marshall, which is good given the Europe situation. We're going to use de Gaulle to break de Gaulle in the hope of getting Suez and Truman. I do get Truman, so it's a gamble on whether or not he gets Suez as to whether or not it's useful. He's 50-50 to have it. Let's gamble. 50-50. Well, that's life. I'm probably making this more difficult for myself than I should. Beautiful. Oh, and he gets special relationship as well, just for good measure. So we'll start racing on country count in Europe just to deny domination. That's the must this turn. Everything else is gravy at the moment. Let's give him Arab-Israeli war, because there's other war cards I don't want to event so much. Good. Bonus. Okay, a wee tap. We'll start pressing the case elsewhere. Oh, that's nicely done. Of course. So we'll event Korean War and Hope against Hope. And we'll tap Portugal. When we tap Portugal, let's tap East Germany because that's worth an extra VP. Well, you know. You keep gambling on these things, you'll eventually come unstuck. But I've got enough areas to tap that... So now let's tap Vietnam Revolts and hope that he does have Europe scoring. Oh, well, splendid. So with DEFCON going up to 5, I have to kind of keep DEFCON low. So I'm going to use Captured Nazi to coup, which is another joke. Big 6! Oh, bit of lag. No, fair enough. I'm not sure about all that, but what do I know? I get Europe scoring, so at least I can make a call on that. And I get a lot of 4-op cards to boot. I'm expecting Indo-Pakistani war from him on India. Well, if I've been counter-right, it's got Warsaw, Indo-Pak, Decol, Independent Reds, NASA, and UN Intervention. I also managed to pick up, in the reshuffle, 5-year, an Olympic. Oh, and Marshall, yeah. So, Marshall Plan's not spectacular. Well, I suppose... No, I've got socialist governments too, yeah. So, Marshall Plan's not spectacular given the circumstances. If he flips India, I then am dominated in Asia. So US-Japan is attractive for that reason. Anyway. He'll get an opening coup too. Interesting. Let's go with US-Japan, and then everyone can talk about it on the forums. Yeah, Indo-Pak, fine. Let's see what happens. Good, he misses. But he flips Thailand, which is fine, so we level up there. He knows I'm holding Europe scoring. So let's start racing there. And obviously I get NORAD bonus, so if he coups again, I can break East Germany. Plus he's fairly low on ops. The wee tap. Time to overprotect. Always propping for decent counting methods. So he might keep tapping me, I have to tap back, I guess. So I've made a hash of the early war, but if the aims are to try and come away with the USSR on less than -5, I'm holding the China card and he's not well developed yet. I haven't done terribly. Alright, with Warsaw Pact gone, I'm going to take Czechoslovakia, kind of in advance, because now I'm not so worried about pushing into... And he's holding independent Reds, if I recall correctly, which is actually a space card. Ah, no, of course. And defectors, interesting to know. So a tap. A reciprocal tap. He now has to use decolonization to take Poland, or independent Reds, which I can use to break Romania. So I think I've just settled that question, which is good. Managed to stay just ahead of the game there, although of course the round will finish neutral. With DEFCON at 4. Interesting. Oh, weird early war. I think I've been... Sunday morning games, I'm splashing around like an idiot, really. Which against a much better player is a really stupid way of doing business, but there we go. Oh, Asia drops for 0. Oh, yes, adjacency. So we'll drop Europe. And I've not been counting properly, that's good to know. Well, we'll also tap East Germany and make his life rather difficult. And let's get rid of blockade. And we'll push into Colombia with it. Could have gone worse. And I'm going to put those back in the deck because I don't remember where they actually were. Add mid-war. And what have I got? Africa scoring currently neutral. VOA is nice. Bear Trap is a bonus too. And then I can use We Will Bury You to drop DEFCON and move into places. What's the option? Bear Trap and hold VOA. Use the China card and pass it back for Cultural Revolution. Maybe I'll get quagmired because of NORAD as well. Bear Trap it is. He gets to Junta, which is nice for him. We Will Bury You's now not playable because he'll coup Panama. Oh boy. And he gets out with Nixon. Quick work. So what's my plan B? Use the China card. Now that Asia's gone, do I worry about Formosa? I don't believe I do. Let's push into Cuba to try and get some rear lines off. Oh man, I'm not sure about all this. Let's use OAS to take Brazil to threaten the rear line on Venezuela. First. And let's hope he doesn't have liberation theology. Ooh boy, position. I can always use OAS to move to Argentina if he takes Brazil, so let's go with my first instincts, which are play to the scoring card I know I have. Let's use the last influence to push into Tunisia, which forces him to respond into Algeria. Oh, I've got OAS already logged. How I learned. Africa scoring. Oh, of course he decalls. Very good. So let's VOA him. Let's get him out of Chile for Allende. He can push back in with Allende, but that's his problem. I'm fine with that for VOA alignment. Let's threaten the realign on South Africa and see if he flips Angola. Because I'm not worried about South America just yet. I don't know. I'm playing hasty. I shouldn't play on Sunday mornings, maybe. That's the answer. Should be in bed. No, he's going brush war. But thankfully he's going control, and he fails. So I'll take Africa for domination. That's fine. So now it's time to OAS into Argentina. Quagmires me. Very nice. But I'm straight out. He spaces shuttle diplomacy because he is rightly concerned about the state of the Middle East and Asia. So let's give him a Millop, cooing with Summit only, which is also good for me. Now I'm holding Duck. We will bury you, so I can headline Duck and cover, and then I just need to worry about ABM. So let's go with that. And I've got Liberation Theology, which is nice. Okay, he gets to look at my hand, but he doesn't get the coup. So he bags a nice fat Southeast Asia scoring. Fine, fine. Che is, of course, in play, and he can do Millop trouble. I guess the question is, causing trouble in Europe is nice at the moment. I'm going to use Flower Power to take Poland, and obviously I know Warsaw Pact's still out, and I dodged against Saucy that way, but I've got no war cards, and obviously I'll hold We Will Bury You to stop being missile envied later on. Allende sucks, but I can have a crack at realigning him, and I need to do something about Europe for now. Let's do that. I don't know, I should probably dominate the Middle East or something. Charmer. I do need to, I don't have access to any non-battlegrounds actually, of course, because Israel got cleared out. So I need to pop one in Israel. He's spacing Camp David to stop me getting access, of course, which is wise. Do a bit more. I feel like I want to pump Germany a bit more before I. Yeah, Che's just too good to pass up at the moment. What cards am I worried about with Amit? Now Lone Gunman's gone, and OPEC's not great. Not a lot in particular. I'm going to use Omit for the ops. Push into Israel, and put another one into Germany. I don't know if Germany is the right place, but I also have to stop thinking too hard. Nearly halfway through my clock and nearly halfway through the game. Space Liberation Theology, hold We Will Bury You, means I have to use Che. But I can use How I Learned to get Milops as well. Is there anything I want to salt? Salting VOA, always an option. Let's do that. Let's make his life difficult, shall we? Because I can always get another coup off in response. And it gets salt out the deck. He, of course, knows I now have it. But the threat of VOA should be enough to make him quail. Great. Let's see where he puts this. -1 coups, of course. And now I can use Che for Milops if I need to, like for my coup option. Let's do the bland 3 into Chile, which protects against Allende, because I can put back in. And obviously if he doesn't take a coup by AR7, also I can now use We Will Bury You, which is giving up 3 VP. Space-facing nuclear subs, putting it back in the deck at a high defcon. Interesting. What do we fancy? Let's use We Will Bury You to spread around. Drop Defcon 1, give up 3 VP, but threaten Nigeria. And if he doesn't coup, I can. Maybe use Che to do so. Then I've still got How I Learned to drop DEFCON another turn and Voice of America to wreak some havoc. So he coups with Panama, but he coups a non-battleground. Let's give him Che now, get him his Millops, but I can have the DEFCON dropping coup, and then I'm still holding VOA for misery. That's not great for me, of course. So where do I want to coup? Panama. Whiffs. I don't know. Maybe that was a great sodding mess. Is he going to drop South America? Yeah, it lets me ask not liberation theology. Colonial Rearguards is nice. It's a decent trade. So dodging Warsaw Pact is a bonus here for me. I've got to watch out for Muslim Revolution. Tunisia is nice access back to Libya at least. Okay, so prepping for Central America domination. I'm going to use How I Learned. Do I? Do I want to use Voice of America now? Yeah, because I can use How I Learned to drop DEFCON, I suppose. But then he doesn't get the coup for Thailand, so it's... Let's give him Central America for now. Let me take there, press into there, break Algeria, and take Burma to protect against Indo-Pakistani war. That's fine for now. I've got How I Learned that could drop DEFCON and Voice of America that can cause trouble, and now I've got ABM. I've got a pretty strong hand here. That isn't great for him, I guess. So we'll start with ABM. He may missile envy and purge me, which is a bonus for him. But I don't want to give him a coup. Oh, he starts with Allende. Now DEFCON's 4. Using ABM treaty that way, I'll get the last coup. I kind of want a coup with Purge to stop being missile envied immediately. One small step gets me on the map. So he starts with U2 incident. Which coup do we want? Central America is unscored, so that seems like the obvious one. Let's coup Panama. Not bad, because he has to either repair or coup. Could be worse. He does coup. He fails. Holy moly. You poor sod. So I'll take Panama with How I Learned to Stop Worrying. And if he doesn't kill, I also get Arms Race. And I've got Argentina Man. This sucks for him. I've got nothing to space, so one small step might be my hold card. Going for it. Nice. Do I leave the China card in his hand? Or do I use Yusuri to take the China card and ditch the 3 VP? What's better, the China card or 3 VP? Thing is, if I get the China card, I have to use it. So I kind of want to force him to use it. And this will potentially reshuffle. So let's do that. I'm not sure it's best. Yep, obviously. So let's claim Arms Race for the Veeps. He's not peeking. Let's get a coup off. Now I've got domination. What access does Puppet give me? Nowhere I'm not really already. So I might use Puppet for the ops. Oof. Right. AR7 Voice of America. Let's just overprotect Central America. Playing his own thing, AR7. We'll VOA that. Here comes the reshuffle. I get Central America scoring and Missile MV. And I get VOA straight back. That is sick. Ye gods. Poor bastard. Right, Latin American Death Squads for the headline to protect against the Americas. Seems pretty good. But he gets Liberation Theology, so... He's also holding Muslim Revolution and OPEC and South America scoring. But he's going to take the coup. Wow. Nice work. What do we fancy? Let's take Thailand and put him under pressure elsewhere. I don't know if it was worth it, but there we go. Not been paying enough close attention to tracking, as will happen. But I've got VOA back, which is nice. And I'll use that in Mexico in a moment, I suppose. Missile Amp is too risky to play. With duck and cover potentially. So he drops South America for 0. Asia's not a problem immediately. Yep, just clear him out of Mexico. I've got stuff to space now, so one small step's a shout. I could have used brush wall, but obviously flower power and all. If I can hold brush wall, that's not terrible. For now, I'm just going to put plain ops into Mexico. He still doesn't get to peak. Oh, I could use one small step to stop him. One thing at a time. Because I have to space first anyway. Let's use Missile MV to dominate Central America. Put him under pressure there. Because with late war coming... Oh yes, of course, he knows. He knows. War cards, war cards. Let's put him under some pressure. Okay, that's where that was. Right. He's using OPEC for influence. At some point I have to accept the fact. Now let's just drop Central for 0. For 1 even, yeah. Because I've got other things to do. Kitchen Debates, I think, is in his hand, because I haven't seen it, and I've definitely got the advantage. So, I think he's got Kitchen Debates, possibly captured Nazi and Muslim Revolution. AR-67, I want to space South African unrest, and hope to one small step. If I fail, I use one small step for the ops to coup, and get my mill ops. So he's peaking anyway, fine. So let's start by spacing South African unrest. And I get my Veep, which is nice. He should finish with Muslim Revolution. But I have access to a bunch of places, so it's not so bad. I can push back into Libya. I don't think that's ideal, really. But what I'm going to do first is get my mill ops. Planning to realign him out of Cuba. Because of the Tunisia op, I can get back into Libya. We're into late war. Tear down this wall is nice and drops DEFCON. And I've got CIA to look at his hand. Let's go with the DEFCON dropper. Oh, he's peaking, isn't he? So defectors is no good. So CIA, look at his hand. Yeah. Ah, swaps is. I expect to see Chernobyl or tear down this wall. Tear down this wall seems more obvious, but we'll see if he has Warsaw Pact as well. So if he doesn't take Europe 1, it's telling also. Okay, he takes tear down, fair enough. Now we see what he's got. Grain and Cal. So he has to space Cal and use the China card. How I learned, he can open up DEFCON as well, which is another option for him. But let's start at first principles. And drop DEFCON. What do I think? Shay's not playable. Do I want to keep Chernobyl? I have domination and I have to play all my cards this turn. I know he's not got Africa scoring. No, I'm not going to get Millops this turn. So he's only got Pershing to flip with. So let's just overprotect. For now. I mean, I can afford to be risk averse here. He needs to be the one pressing. I have domination in Asia. I've got access to Middle East. He's got to go for the 1 in 6. So close. So now we threaten realignment. Yep. He gets it though. Clear him out of Cuba as well. You can space again, but you have to space with Pershing. No, Yavenzi. He had to space with Pershing to cause me trouble. And NATO's not an effect, is it? So I can give him special relationship. Fine. I can live with that. So you can hold grain sales. Let's space decol. So Che's going to give me a bit of grief. The issue, I guess, is that he's actually creeping close to war games. These kitchen debates helps there. Let's see what he does first. Let's hope... Oh, okay. Yeah, sensible. Sensible. We'll coup back for the Milops. And if he pushes into Egypt, I'll use Brushfall for the Ops. Which means I'll have to watch out for the Reformer, of course, because he will be going into turn 9 with an advantage. Warsaw Pact is going to be trouble for me, because he could flip Europe that way. Warsaw Pact, Poland, Czechoslovakia, East Germany. And all of a sudden, Europe domination switches. So avoiding Warsaw Pact will be a requirement. So if he how I learns into Egypt, he goes for DEFCON. He wants world peace. So we'll be prepared to defend Europe. I'll start with ABM treaty. To drop DEFCON, I guess. Oh no, I got Warsaw Pact, lucky me. Guess I have to watch out for VPs as well. Let's get ABM treaty off though. So I want realignments. Yeah, because I've got Warsaw Pact, even if he coups Italy. Although, I can take the big fat coup on Italy. That might be more attractive, yeah. That drops DEFCON as well. So I've got to watch out for war games. And I've got ops to war. Latin America I can drop Warsaw Pact on. And then I can use an intervention NASA to stop that triggering. So I've got some ops to war with. He's basically now got a press for East and West Germany. But if we assume Europe drops neutral, there'll be some coup warring, I guess, in Asia. He'll get, oh, of course, he'll get a coup in Asia because of me dropping Europe. But then I can respond in Europe. Oh boy. What do we want? So drop DEFCON again. Press for Africa control as well. Camp David for the VP. Bonus, okay. Let's take another coup. So now Africa control's good. That means Asia's now safe as well. Still got to watch out for war games. Middle East drops for 0. But I'll still take the VP and let him have the last coup if he wants it. Pressing out of war games territory is my prerogative, I guess. My key objective. So if I UN intervention NASA into Libya, although Middle East scoring's gone now, so he does get the last coup off. So he goes for Africa Dom. I don't know, that's kind of a bit stupid. That scored as well, though. Stuff this. Let's use Marshall Plan. And repair a lot of battlegrounds. Oh yes, he's still holding grain sales, isn't he? But now he can discard it. So still got to watch out for war games. Oh boy. Whew, glad that whiffed. Oh, and I've given up. With UN intervention, I've given up my R7. Wow, I've made a bloody hash of this turn, not paying attention. Clock pressure and all. Oh well. It is what it is. Let's see what comes of it. Aye. Sensible. Discard grain sales. Nicely done. I've got Africa scoring. And colonial rear guards. So let's headline colonial rear guards. And he has to choose between flipping Thailand with the China card or giving me Africa. If he does, I can use duck and cover as well for the VP. So he's going for ops power this turn, understandably. Start by spacing, which misses. We'll let him have another space, actually. I'll overprotect Hoyland again. Because obviously I know I've got duck and cover in Africa scoring. Yeah. Okay, well, please comment away about these stupid fatigued Sunday morning games and how many errors I made. Because I think I splashed around a wee bit. I think I got foolhardy towards the start. Very sensible. That's preventing realignment risks, or at least evening it up. So let's see what he does now. He looks somewhere else. Succeeds. But I get domination. Okay. Yeah. Let's for a lark, because there are no more scoring cards. Terrorism him as well. Alright, please comment away. There's another game later today, which is an Itzel game. Playing someone in the Rockies, or at least they're on Central Time, so not really. Anyway, an American instead of an Australian. 2 Antipodes. Alright, so what can I do meaningfully to affect the end of the game? I can play into Israel to, or Saudi, I guess. Saudi to get domination in the Middle East. And everything else is gravy. Yeah, this is all gravy. Alright, brilliant. The game is up. A nice one to finish with. Oh, not least because it actually dominates South America. Although I can use socialist governments to neutralise that and only lose a VP in Europe, so... That's that. Thanks for watching. A nice little boost to the rating. Alright, thanks for watching. Until next time, which is in 6 hours' time.